Window Boys, Woeful Yet Whimsical Watchings.
Wow. So, X-Men. Yeah, so do you want to start with just like an overview of the movie?
No, we'll start with each perspective on X Men as a franchise and as a cinematic
Didn't we already
universe.
did do that when we did the tier?
Oh, I fucked up the tier recording as well. All right,
Okay.
it's not like I'm a complete idiot. Okay, I've recorded videos before I met him. It's just this X Men stuff. It's just pissing me off, and it just keeps failing. Everything to do with this X Men is failing.
It's cursed.
Every time I want to sit down and watch some Dominatrix, man. Dominatrix. I want to watch some men.
Some big buff
It's
men in
failing.
spandex. Well,
Yeah,
they're
but
not
it's
in
not.
spandex in this. They're in leather. So
Not
your
even yellow.
dominatrix joke still
No.
lands.
Yeah, it doesn't work for me.
You're not into the leather? You prefer spandex?
No, I hate the fucking suits. I hate the
Really?
suits. Yeah,
I
they're stupid as
understand what
fuck.
they were going for. It is disappointing. They definitely could have gone a cooler route, but for a 2000s costume design, it could be worse.
Yeah,
Because we
it
should
could
also
be
clarify, what year is this movie set in?
2000. 2000.
Pull it up.
Yeah, yeah, it said modern day, like at the time.
But isn't Eric an Auschwitz Holocaust survivor?
Yeah, so World War Two ended in 1939, I think.
That doesn't sound right.
Let's do some research. Window Boy's wonderful World War Two history.
Yeah. I wouldn't say wonderful.
Poor choice of words.
I would say woeful. Because that's already.
Oh, and yeah, that's what I do. That's my thing. 1945. I don't know why I said that. 1939. Started in 1939. Sorry, that's why I know this date. It was in 1939. So what we can assume he's 10, 13 in that opening sequence.
Mm,
You knew the numbers. You have to do that.
okay.
Don't pull up a calculator. You're smart.
Alright.
Window Boy's woeful yet whimsical
Math equations.
math equation.
Alright, kids, buckle down. We're doing some fucking Pythagorean's theorem. Do you remember what that is?
More entertaining than X Men 2000. Back to X Men.
Okay, full context as well, since I did already preface this in what we attempted to do as a tier ranking, like start to this video. But full disclosure, my opinions on this like cinematic universe are very skewed because I have a deep nostalgic love for X-Men, all things X-Men. Very deep nostalgic love, and even going back and rewatching it, I still kind of enjoyed it. I know I'm giving it shit, but like, if I am being wholeheartedly honest with myself, I still kind of liked it.
All different.
You are an asshole though,
Uh,
so nothing is sacred to this
See,
man.
I did like the X Men. I grew up watching X Men. They weren't my favorite, but I enjoyed it. But these early movies I have nostalgia about. But it's not blinding me here. I don't, to be honest.
I can look at it from a like non-biased perspective and say like, look, it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
But like ultimately, I still enjoyed sitting down. Like I still enjoyed watching it.
I've watched much worse movies. We'll put it that way.
We have a bit of a hobby before we even considered recording these like videos. We do have a hobby of just watching absolutely terrible movies and just ripping them to shreds by ourselves. We love that. It is a pastime for us.
What happened? What's the plot? what's the plot of X-Men 2000? Dominatrix Men
Do you actually want me
2000.
to give you like a proper plot synopsis?
But no, you start spinning some bars and pass it over to me, and we'll see if together we can piece
No, because
together
remember,
this.
we've done this already. I do know the theme, the story.
Are you putting it on me now?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Bloody hell. There's this bloody Sheila, and her name's bloody Rogue. Right? And Rogue's having a bit of a smooshy time with her bloody friend upstairs, and she bloody kills him.
Don't kill him.
He doesn't die?
Doesn't die. He goes into a coma. She actually says
Well-
that to Logan.
Oh, fuck. See, this is why I don't like this movie. Should have killed him. That would have been cool.
Bit dark.
Yeah, fuck it. Anyway, Rogue, she's from the south, and they've made her young in this for some reason.
She's a teenager in this.
Yeah, but she's the same age as everyone else in the canon,
Yeah.
which I don't like.
That she's a teenager in this, or that she's the same
I
age as
feel like
everyone in
they-
the canon?
Yeah, they downplay Rogue. But anyway, back to Rogue Adventures. After all this, she does a big runaway and she goes into this pub. And guess who's there? It's bloody Australia's own fucking heartthrob, sexiest man of the year 2013 or something. Hugh Jackman, just fucking absolutely pounding out some Canadians, and Hugh Jackman is entertaining in this, especially that fight scene. He's just fucking, he's hammered, and he's just smacking people about. And he's not even winning really, because he's too drunk, or he just doesn't care, or even that he's not even that good of a fighter.
Yeah.
Either way, I enjoy that. I love that he's just not fucking perfect. He's just, he is Logan. But he's not 5'3", which is Wolverine's canonical height.
Nerd. I understand why though.
But Hugh Jackman, right, for reference, is 6'3".
Is he?
He's a whole foot taller.
Wow.
So Hugh Jackman's not a short man, right?
Yeah.
If anything, he's a tall guy.
That's
He's a
tall
tall
bloke.
man. He's 6'3". He's a tall boy. He's a whole foot taller. I don't know how I like that, but also he captures it so well.
Look, I understand why though. Like I get it. You know.
He's 6'3", because he is in Hollywood.
What do you mean?
Hollywood height. You gotta like minus 2 to 3 inches off.
Whether or not he is 6'3" or not, I understand why they would cast an average to above average height man for Wolverine, because
What is that? For my short kings out there, I can't relate for reference. Just so everyone knows, I am 6 foot, and I'm actually 6 foot, not like in a fucking fucker about way. You know.
I don't like that they cast someone who is taller. I do think that is like a negative thing, but I understand that they wanted to make it, because like Wolverine's a heartthrob in this, you know. He's all
don't like that.
flirty. He's all, you know, dark and broody and
He's-
flirty, and
He should be like
I understand.
a strange charming, which he is in this. It's for me to
I
look
think
at
he's
it.
a little too dickish in this.
I like the dickishness. I think especially in the first
But-
appearance, but I don't buy it. It's too
Yeah,
nice.
Hugh Jackman.
A little bit. Not in. He's. I just want a stinky little dude to play
I
him,
don't know.
to be honest. I want him to be, maybe even be a little bit chubby.
I kind of like
Just
the
a
concept
fucking
of just
mongrel.
Gremlin Wolverine.
Yeah, just a little. Yeah.
Angry, angsty. Short dude, just fucking
Because
grub.
you picture all the comic book panels, right? All the comic book panels, and you see him looking up at everyone, and like, they do these cool. Like, he's always looking up, and real aggressive on his face, looking at the Wolverine.
Yeah.
But in this, he's fucking a bit hawkish, looming over him. You know? back to it. So he's in a pub. He's having a bit. He's beating everyone up. Afterwards, he's having a drink. Someone calls him a mutant. Knows he's a freak because he's getting beat up, and he's fine.
I thought we were doing a brief synopsis.
We'll speed the synopsis up. But yeah, they go to Xavier's school.
You've skipped
Xavier's
too much
got
now.
Oh, well, fuck, mate. Alright. So Magneto, playing Magneto. Magneto's body, he doesn't agree with Patrick Stewart. Because Patrick Stewart's like, the humans are alright, they'll come around. And he's like, no, they won't. Ian McKellen said. And so he starts and Sabretooth after Rogue and Wolverine, and they get rescued by Cyclops and Storm and taken back to Xavier's school. Xavier's like, I run a school. Nothing weird about it.
So, important bit that you are missing.
Veto on this. I don't want to do it.
Okay,
We're not
let's
doing
just
the plot.
let's just cut
We're
the
cutting
entire.
the plot bit.
We'll cut the entire you trying to explain this.
Nah. Keep it. That was amazing.
Okay, so I'm gonna pick up where he left off. Rogue, kiss boyfriend. Okay.
He falls apart.
Well, we should probably talk about the second act. Let's start at the first bit because honestly, I liked the start of the movie. I thought the Holocaust scene and the foreshadowing that they did with that, and it was emotional as well. Like, I genuinely tearing up. I thought that was a really good scene. That child actor, slayed. Really good job. Better than most of the actors in this movie.
Super strong start. Yeah, you immediately want to side with Magneto.
Oh yeah, immediately. And for context, I don't even think you know that's Magneto until later in the movie series.
Unless you understand.
Like, they never explicitly.
He controls metal because he does control metal in that scene.
And I think that his mum calls him Eric at some point as well. So like, but they never explicitly say like this is Magneto.
Yeah.
Anyway, really good opening scene. I really liked the starting dynamic between Rogue and Wolverine. I thought that was good. I liked the like fatherly role and the fact that despite everything, he still like has enough compassion in him to like let her stay, even though he's like got the gruff, grumpy exterior. I didn't even mind the introduction to the X-Men either. Like, it wasn't great, but I mean, I get it. It was alright. Loved the introduction to Magneto and his crew. Thought that was really good.
Toad.
And then,
We don't like Toad.
oh my god, that thing is so scary to look at.
Continue.
I even didn't mind like the second kind of act of the movie. I loved the scenes with Senator Kelly. I thought that was a really good actor. I really liked it because I cannot describe how much I hated him. It just made me mad, and that's what it should do. It should make me mad to get an emotional reaction out of you. And yeah, no, I liked it. And you're right. I just wanted to side with Magneto the whole time because I was like, dude, this guy, like, the sympathy, it was there. I thought that was
expect so much nuance from this movie. I came in really pessimistic, to be honest, expecting a really terrible film. And for the first two acts, we were staring at each other and we were saying, "When does this movie get bad?" We're really enjoying this, you know. Like you were just saying, Magneto, Ian McKellen just blows it out of the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome performance, super charming, super threatening, super funny.
Yeah, I liked his dynamic with Charles as well.
Patrick Stewart's
good.
great in this as well. Not given heaps to do.
Yeah, he was very much like a side character. He was like a progression of the plot character. But I didn't mind it.
But yeah, first two acts, 7 out of 10. To be honest, as a comic book movie is concerned, pretty good.
Pretty good.
The acts, they clearly lost all their budget, or they had to make some quotas from the execs because they've just fucking thrown out all the interesting parts.
I feel like the third act was just one scene that went on for just way too long. You know? Like, the fight scene between Toad, Sabretooth, Storm, Jean, and Cyclops. horrendous. I think that was my breaking point. When they're in the Statue of Liberty. What the fuck is this shit?
There's a couple, I guess, experimental things that go on. Wolverine does a weird bit where he gets his claw stuck on Statue of Liberty's crown. He does a little
The
flip,
upside down
which
thing.
is very
Oh my
2000s.
god! It's horrific to look at. It reminds me of, you know those like kill cam things from Skyrim, where it's just like so over dramatic. It's like as a child, I was like, "That's so sick, dude." Now that I'm like a grown adult, I'm like, "Oh my god, what is going on?"
So this third act is basically just one big fight scene. It's really terrible. Lives in South
Did a horrible job with all the characters.
Okay, favorite character.
Magneto.
It's really hard to come out of this without just loving Magneto.
Yeah.
But
And the thing is, like, he's not, like, no matter how much I say, like, oh, I want to root for him, or I, like, sympathize, like, I don't, at the same time, like, I don't want him to win. And that, I like the complexity of that character. Like, I know that he is not doing the right thing, but, like, fuck, it's kind of hard not to just go, oh, dude, just give this guy a win.
I appreciate that core to this movie. Sort of this conflict between Xavier and Eric.
The two sides of the battle.
But least favorite character.
I mean, besides Toad?
No, Toad is another.
Okay, well,
It's
Toad.
Toad. We hate Toad.
We hate Toad. The spit scene with him and Jane.
I don't. Did he say anything? I should have been my plan.
It's like the hormone monster from Big Mouth.
Terrible show.
I didn't mind the first few seasons.
Performance.
Obviously Magneto, but I want to just put out there that I thought the actor that played Senator Kelly, I did already mention this, but I thought he did a really good job. I know he was only like a side character, and I know obviously, spoiler alert, one character dies. But I thought that he actually did a really compelling job, and I think kudos to him. He was a good character.
Yeah.
Did a good
Hugh
job.
Jackman also puts in a pretty good performance. All his scenes are entertaining, and he isn't terrible in this. Cyclops, Storm, they're not really giving too much to do. Neither is Jean Grey.
Can we just mention Storm's accent?
Halle Berry is putting on the most offensive,
Ambiguous.
ambiguous and terrible African, just broadly African accent.
Storm is from Egypt.
Yeah,
So Storm is from an area in Egypt, Cairo. I was going to say, I think it's the capital, but I can never remember. Which they do mention it in X-Men Apocalypse. They elaborate more on her backstory in that. But I think that was just a really disappointing experience. Like, just Storm in general.
ruins the little scene she's in.
Yeah.
And they also downplay Storm, not to rant too much about it.
Well, Storm's your
We'll
favorite
get back to
character,
that.
so.
She's not.
No, but you have a love
I
for
love
the
Storm.
Storm. You do love Storm.
Okay. Worst performance. We've just done that.
Yeah. So we're up to worst
Performance, Halle Berry. No, the dude who plays Toad. Whatever his name is that guy.
Dox him. Joking. That is a horrible thing to
Oh,
do.
no.
Never dox someone ever.
Cancelled. Cancelled and we'll edit that out.
Yeah. I think if I was gonna take like a genuine look at who did the worst performance,
With what they're given. We have to because there's such a big ensemble in this movie.
It's such a big introduction. This entire movie is an introduction.
With everything they're given, who do you think gives the worst?
I would like to hear your answer first because I need to consider mine.
Yeah. I don't think anyone does very terrible in this, to be perfectly honest.
I don't think it's good,
The villains aren't very memorable besides Magneto, obviously the Brotherhood of Mutants.
but I don't think that's their fault either.
Toad isn't anything. I hate Toad. If you couldn't tell, I hate Toad. Sabretooth
Really?
isn't super memorable in this.
He's kind of just rah.
There might have been someone else in the team. Mystique.
Mystique.
Okay,
was in
Mystique.
it. Underwhelming.
A little bit underwhelming, but entertaining enough to skip it out.
She was a plot device in this movie,
Xavier isn't given too much as well.
but again, not his fault. And what he was in, he did
I'm
a
gonna
good job.
go Jean Grey. I didn't find her performance very persuasive. I didn't buy at all that she liked Scott Summers.
I also didn't buy at all that she liked
There's
Wolverine.
absolutely no chemistry between any of the actors in this.
Yeah, that is real.
Besides Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen.
There's no chemistry in any of the cast.
Rogue. Mm.
Disappointing that they took that route, but they did a okay job. I don't know. I don't think it is fair to blame the actors for what they were given.
But if you could, it would be Toad.
It would no. I think if I had to genuinely, it would probably be Halle Berry. Her performance as Storm was disappointing.
Wasted potential. Is Storm again, because Halle Berry's a good actress. Storm's a cool character. I don't know if those two work together. I'm still unsold on that, to be perfectly honest.
Because they recast Storm in the later movies.
Do that.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, actually, do they? Or I think that they make Storm younger in some of the later movies. And I'm pretty sure she's cut from some of them as well.
Imagine Halle Berry would be hard to get back for a lot of these movies.
Because she blew up.
Especially at this period in time. Halle Berry's massive.
But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure, because I know that they made her younger in Apocalypse. I actually can't remember if she's even in Days of Future Past. Because I know Jean and Scott are, but I actually don't remember whether or not Storm is. Yeah. Actually,
Is that your wasted potential?
yeah. Yeah, I think it is.
And
Because, yeah, I really like Storm as a character as well.
and what do you want to see in X2? That's the name as well, which is terrible. That's what I see on all the posters.
I think it's just
It
X-Men.
is X-Men 2. Okay, that's better.
I would really like to see more Mystique, to be honest. She's probably one of my favorite characters. I would just really like her backstory and her relationship between Charles and Eric. I just really like her as a character. I always thought she was really badass as a kid. I used to love her. Want to be her. Yeah.
And new X-Men that we haven't seen.
No, well, who do you want to see more of?
Out of the current cast, who do I want to see more of? I'd love to say Storm, but I'm really unsure on Halle Berry if she can capture Storm. I would also like to see more Scott Summers. Like Cyclops, I think he's a good character. I think when done well.
Well, because Scott is, in a sense, the leader of the team.
He is. He's the leader.
Obviously, Charles is like the mastermind of the team, but like Scott is the leader in like field missions and stuff. And I think you're right. I think he has a lot of potential as well as a character.
I'd like to see, them build the friendship between Logan and Scott where they have this. They both don't like it, but they both respect each other. Especially Logan to follow Scott, as in like be underneath him and Scott as his leader.
Because I feel like that's an aspect a lot of like, or I personally, um, obviously because Wolverine is such a marketing point for the X-Men universe, I sometimes forget that he's not just like the default leader.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that dynamic between him and Scott is definitely very interesting.
New X-Men. Who do we want to see? We'll leave it to two. Put one as your like number one candidate. Your two is your runner. Know who's in this though. So just
Okay.
go off your heart, as if you could not tell who's in this.
Okay, if I was
Immediately.
just thinking comic book characters that they have the potential to introduce and I would really like to see. First and foremost, I really loved Kitty. Oh, yeah, Kitty as a kid. The phase through Walls girl. She is actually featured in this movie.
That was a good
You do
one.
see her briefly, and she does come back in Days of. No, she's in Days of Future Past because she sends them back. And I always loved her as a kid. They don't do anything with her character. Just spoilers. Would love to see her. I really liked her as a kid. Oh God, I don't actually know about my second one. Because, yeah, they've got a lot of the core cast in this.
You want me to go?
I'm excited for. I love Quicksilver as well. So I feel like he could go in that list as well.
Yeah, I was about to say. I guess I'll lump Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch together because I think.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that they put her in the MCU instead of in this, but I get it.
Oh, not one on just in both, but
Yeah,
yeah,
literally.
they both share. They both studios share that characters. But I'd also like to see Nightcrawler. I'm a big Nightcrawler fan. I like
Fair enough.
it's creepy about him. I love
In
it.
saying that, card guy, Gambit. Thank you.
That guy.
You got it, didn't you?
We're rating it on a scale 1 to 10.
If I
In
had to
terms
take,
of a film and in terms of
as far as comic book movies go, I'd probably put it at like a generous 6.5. What about you?
as a comic book movie, a 5.5. No, probably better. First two acts, I did actually enjoy. I love these characters. If there's a film, 4.5. You just think of it in like the grand scope.
The thing is, okay. I'll give it a 5. Bear in mind,
It is quite a.
I am gonna watch it again. I will continue to watch it until I am old because I actually love it. It's a nostalgia thing for me.
And that's okay. Unless you disagree, you have to write a comment really angry telling me that you disagree. And I'll look at it and then we'll get a reply, but then I'll get nervous. You know what?
I would like you not to judge my opinions because I am sensitive.
Subscribe. We know boys woeful, yeah, whimsical watch.
Wow.
Wow, we were.